Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Zamprogno from SANREMO Coffee Machines Italy, part of R&D department.
My name's Hugh Kelly. I'm from Australia and I'm part of the SANREMO World Academy team, or the SWAT team, and I work at Honor Coffee. So the first big key is the mechanics. The mechanics are what hold the blades or the grinder burrs and allow them to spin. Every grinder, or most grinders out there, have, with slight free play causing difficulties with consistency. That's because when the blades spin, the tiny little bit of free play will get worse and worse as metal changes and it bends and warps. So we spent at least 5 years and so many different versions of the mechanics to remove all the free play. Another part was the clump crushers. So here, this is usually on a lot of grinders at the exit or when the coffee comes out. So they use this on traditional grinders to neutralize the static or the electricity buildup on the coffee grind. But we didn't want to have one of these because we didn't want any retention inside the chamber. So we've chosen a design that gives us consistent drop and minimize retention, but it allows us to grind directly in the portafilter. Now then you have the weighing system. So this grind is actually weighing the beans up the top because we wanted to be able to jump between different coffees to put through the same blades. But nothing exists on the market that we know of that can weigh the beans to one bean accuracy. So here we've got hopper 1, hopper 2. So there's 2 different coffees. And on here on the screen, we've got the dose, so the amount of beans that we're weighing. Then the grind size, this is in microns. And then the RPM, so the speed of the burrs. Then we've also got bypass. So we can run this as a single dose grinder, running everything from espresso, milk, and filter.
To change the RPM, we use an electronic device called inverter. And using this electronics device, we are able to change the RPM. If you enable the 4 speeds, you can customize from 800 to 1400. It is also can be different for each hopper with its own recipe. And for example, many people use espresso here with high speeds and filter for bypass using low speeds.
So this is High Road in Canberra. This is the traditional setup that we had on the bar. So in the morning, the dial-in works by the baristas running shots of all the different coffees, finding their best recipe, and it takes quite a long time. The time that we use to dial in is really important, and we've actually replaced 2 of our Amphims with this, and we're doing single dosing with some of the other coffees. So we're now down to just 1 on-demand grinder and then 1 X1. So under the old setup, it was around 940 grams of coffee for all our options, 45 to 50 minutes to dial in. So we've reduced this down to an average of 608 grams of coffee and around 30 minutes to dial in. So we've worked this out to a week and to a year in the coffee cost, the wage cost, and at the end of the day, after 1 year, we figured that out 7,200-ish worth of saving that we've got with coffee and staff costs. So this is only with dial-in. When you're talking service, there's less purge shots. If we have a coffee sitting there in a grinder and we haven't ground anything for 20 minutes, we usually purge. We're not doing that anymore. So there's savings throughout the whole day. So the design of the burrs and the mechanics and everything is designed to keep the temperature of grinding low. But with this grinder, we didn't want to increase temperature of grinding because this releases volatile aroma compounds. So this is something that we tested with Zurich University. But this one is a test that we did. It was 70 doses, all run back to back. And you can see it started at 39 degrees. This was a very fine espresso setting. And after the 70 doses, it only got to 40 degrees. Another part was the burr design. So partly the burrs are keeping temperature down, but we've also done a huge amount on taste analysis. So we've done taste and chemical analysis to select the burrs. So we had different panels of tasters from around the world. One person is in one room preparing the shots with the different burrs. They send coffees through to the other room, so there's no one knows what's going on in the other room. And then data was analysed after. So this helped us come to this set of 98mm burrs with a DLC coating. So it's a coating around the burrs. So we chose 98mm because it was giving us better taste than any 80mm or any smaller burr set that we tried. And then we also found, luckily, that the DLC improved taste as well. Now, another concern people have had is around contamination. So back to Zurich Uni, and we did this test with two very different coffees. So we did this in both taste test and also chemical test. So they would send groups of 3 espressos to the panel of tasters. These are Q grader tasters. Grind a shot, run 2 espressos, and then they would grind 1 shot from the second hopper and then go back and make another shot straight away. So the tasters couldn't actually identify which were the contaminated coffees. So they also did chemical analysis as well on the compounds. Measurements like 1.17%, 1.23% changes in some compounds when you switch between hoppers. So that's because the chamber itself, it's retaining so little coffee that you're not actually introducing anything really to the mix. We can see kind of allowing us to remove multiple grinders from our bar. It's using less space on the bar. It also allows us to use lots of different coffee options.